so those, again, we do a lot of communication about that through email. So if you get on our listserv, we send emails and say, hey, do you want to sign up for a Free Arts Day? And
how often are those days?
There's like 2 per month. We kind of take a break for January, February, and they come back, or maybe we just take a break for January, come back in February, and we roll on through the semester. But that one's also academic year long, so it starts in end of September and goes till about May. Mm-hmm.
How do you find these kids though? Like, how do the parents like go to your program and say they need this?
Oh, good point. Okay, that's a great question because I totally forgot to mention how that works. We have 38 community partners, and those are schools or social service agencies like shelters for homeless or people who are experiencing domestic violence, court innovation centers, which are connected to family courts, and that's where we do some of our family programming, and other social service agencies like, community centers, family centers, CBOs. But the school, we're getting more and more into doing after-school programming with schools and charter schools because the arts funding is just not there. So we get asked all the time to help support and make sure that kids are getting accessible arts programming in an after-school program. But we don't have right now we don't have the volunteer support to really reach a lot of kids in the afternoon because most of our volunteers work during the day, so they can't do the afternoon gig, which is why I'm doing more and more of this outreach stuff. Mm-hmm. So I hope that's helpful to understand like how we really are like all over the city. If you see the list of neighborhoods, it's pretty big, so there's usually something near you or something on where you live.
I don't know if you could answer this, but how would you deal with like a kid who's really acting out or may have like some serious background issues like child abuse or something?
So I think that the great thing about running an art group with kids, even with really kids who can be very challenging, is that there's always, because you're only working with 1 or 2 kids, so first of all, it's like a lot of that energy is coming from I'm not getting anyone's attention, so that just cuts it out right there. Like, someone is always giving you their attention. You don't have to fight for it, you don't have to vie with other kids for it, it's there. And that's something that I think makes our program so quality, is that the volunteers bring that aspect, and you don't have to, usually you're like fighting for attention or doing, acting out for attention. And also the project is like, they're designed so that the kids can, it's complicated enough so that kids who have art skills can really like engage with it and do different things, but if they don't, it's still accessible. So I don't know how it's hard to get distracted when there's like a table covered with art supplies and everything's so colorful and like, it's something that you've never tried before. It's hard to, there are a few kids that I've worked with who say, or that I've seen in the groups who say like, I just don't want to do this. Like, I'm not into, playing with colored wire or paint or, like using different natural materials. Like, it's so, your curiosity, your natural curiosity, like makes you kind of, even kids who are just like, like this, they're kind of like, what are you doing? They kind of still want to know. So I think that kind of answered it. And we also have group agreements in groups. So it's something that we use, like the group in the very beginning will make a bunch of, it's kind of rules, but we call it group agreements. They all put in, turn your cell phone off. If it's a 13-year-old group, it's always turn your cell phone off. But mostly like, respect the art materials, you can't hit while you're here, whatever it is that the kids want to have as group agreements. And then there's a friendly reminder like macaroni and cheese or like, toe jam or, whatever it is that the group, you can say that word to somebody and it means, hey, you forgot the group agreement. A kid can say it to an adult can say it to a kid, and kids can say it to other kids. It's like just a little tool that we use that you're not putting like so much negative attention on what the person did, but just still recognizing that, there's an issue and, you hit me and that's not on a group agreement. So it's like a warning system, but it's funny, it's positive, it tries not to be negative. And if a kid has to leave the group, they have to leave the group for the evening. That's just how it goes. That's also like if there's a level of respect that you can't reach, what we can't, you know, what can we do? But they always have the, we don't do any of that, you know, you are done and you can never come back thing. It's always this time, this is what happened, and you broke the group agreement, and we said macaroni and cheese 3 times, and so, you know, we did everything we could, but that's still against the group agreement. I'm sorry you have to leave for tonight, but you can come back next week and see if you can try it again. So that's kind of the system that we use. And it definitely tries to take a lot of pressure off volunteers, because I don't think we work with people who've never worked with kids before, so we try to make it really clear, like, we don't expect you to be a teacher or like know classroom management skills and all that. It's not a requirement. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you want us to show your slideshow then? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I wanted to show some of the pictures. This is from a Free Arts Day. Can you guys see?
I'll turn off the light.
Okay. I think this is also from a Free Arts Day. You see, like, there's all those people behind them because they're in a large group. I think that's someone from. The Free Arts Day events are sponsored by like corporations, groups, like families. So this one was like a Victoria's Secret one, and they have all the big Victoria's Secret people come out, and so one of the models was there, and they always love that picture. It's like, I don't think the kids are there though. This is another picture of a mentor and some kids who probably, that's one example of, if you want to work on one thing for the whole Free Arts Day, you definitely can. Nobody's going to tell you not to. So it looks like they made some kind of cool robot machine thing.
What did they do with what they made? Did they take it home?
Yeah, they take it home. I mean, they must need a truck to get that home. But yeah, they take it home. This is just more a mentor and a child. That's someone in the dementia group. It's like a puppet group in here. That's another Free Arts Day. It was like we have these holiday Free Arts Days, so they made this candy necklace involved in that one. Again, another Free Arts Day. It was making this kind of, we do a lot of art projects that are based in cultures from around the world, so this was one of those projects. It was like a neck, I don't know what it was called, but it's something that's really, again, it's like simple, you can take it anywhere, and she just used some kind of cardboard cutout to wrap her string around. She beaded the string, so she worked with a bunch of different materials, did a lot of like hands-on stuff in that project. We use a ton of model magic. I don't know if anybody knows what model magic is. It's like fast-drying Crayola clay that you can pretty much turn into anything, and it dries really quickly. So she made a bracelet out of it. So this was for the winter Free Arts Days and the holidays. We make gingerbread houses and have like edible art projects. So that's something that you might get to do and eat all of your candy and eat all of the frosting. But they're working on like one of the edible art projects.